Well, hi everybody. God. Oh, I'm just laughing at my tardiness. I've been meaning to get this all week, but I've had a busy week. Every time I've had company I wasn't expecting, and grandkids visiting, massages to give. It's been really busy, which has actually been good for me because I actually feel better when I'm pushed a little than when I don't have anything to do. The busier I am, the better I am. And the doctor did give me a date for surgery. Not looking forward to that, but for July the 9th. So, anyway, I hope you're all doing good. I've also been doing a ton of readings, and I've just about gotten caught up. So, if anybody wants a personal reading, you can get a hold of me at lynntarotreadings at gmail.com. lynntarotreadings at gmail.com. And that's readings with an S. And put your phone number in there, and I'll get back to you and set you up quick with a reading. Because that also makes my day. God, I just never thought I'd enjoy reading cards on the phone after reading them in person all my life, but I almost feel better. I don't know, I haven't read straight in person except for friends that I've read for years since I've been doing this, but I feel a better connection on the phone. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that's had a reading and everybody that keeps sending donations. I'm always so excited. It just surprises me so much. I don't know why it should surprise me. You guys have been good to me ever since I started this channel. But I just want to thank you for that. And I wrote some questions down, and I'm pretty sure if I can pronounce them, I wrote some of the names of the people that requested these. And I hope you're all doing good. And I know if you're like me, you thought, oh, gee, once Biden gets in there, things are going to be different. But you know what? Trump didn't start this, and him getting out of office ain't going to end it. You know, if you remember Bannon, when Trump first got elected, the first deal he gave where he was in charge of the talking and stuff, he said that his goal and the administration's goal was to dump democracy on its head or change it all or whatever. But anyway, there's been more going on here all this time. I mean, this didn't just start 4 years ago. This started when, well, Russia started gearing him up for this just in case he ever got in this position years ago, when he had his beauty pageants over in Russia. But soon as he came back from there the last time and started saying that Obama wasn't born in the United States, that's when it started. That's when the push started from all different directions. Wasn't just what was coming out of Trump's mouth. It was the people in the Congress and the Senate that wasn't denying that and saying that was bullpucky. Just all kinds of, I mean, that was really suspicious right there. And it just has been from the start. And you know, something else suspicious about this is I heard a couple of people, I thought about it the second I heard about it, but even a couple of people on, I don't know if it was on Jimmy Fallon, not Jimmy Fallon, I don't watch him very much, but Jimmy Kimball or some of these other people, but they were talking about that if Biden goes to see Putin, he better not eat anything, you know, as a joke. But you know, that's all fun. But think of all the people that Putin's already poisoned. And I don't think he'd put himself that close to poison, like to do it directly to him. But you know, everything that's happened in the last 4 or 5 years, a sane, rational person would look at it, just like all this crap in Arizona and the stuff they're getting ready to start in Pennsylvania. a rational person would look at it and say, well, that wouldn't happen. That couldn't happen because we're all so used to what we thought were norms for years. Like that wouldn't happen to an American president. Nobody'd have the balls to try to take them out. But you know what? It's scary. And I think I'm going to read on that and see if Biden's going to be safe on this trip that where he goes to see Putin. I hadn't thought about that, but when I get up in the morning, I walk around and talk to my guides, and when I was talking to them this morning, that's what they wanted to talk about. You know, because like General Flynn keeps screaming insurrection and coup. This is not an accident. There's more going on here. And I don't know why. Excuse me. Have a drink of my witch's brew here. Which has got this green stuff in it that's kind of grainy. It'll probably make me worse. See my favorite cup? That was, I got this when I went to Boston a couple years ago to see my grandson. It was right after Halloween, and I picked these plastic cups up that said witch's brew, and I didn't realize they'd be the perfect size and the perfect everything for what I use. But anyway, let's get back to that. Where was I at? I was talking about Biden getting, I hope he's safe when he goes over there. But this stuff's been going on so long. It's been going on so long. And it didn't start yesterday. And now that we're paying more attention to Black history, it's right in the middle of this. It was why McConnell was so pushing these judges. That's all he wanted to do, was get the courts so set up that all this kind of shit that's going through in Arizona and Pennsylvania couldn't go through without judges. And it wouldn't go through with a sane judge, but some of the judges are Republicans put in there to go through. So that's what's going on there. And I'm going to get to your questions. I'd already made up my mind when I came on here I wasn't going to talk all night. I do have some things I'd like to talk about maybe on my next reading, but not this one. Well, the first one is from a Hazel. No, the first one I don't have. Yeah, I think she wrote both of these questions. One was, will the Fox propaganda machine be stopped? And I don't have to read cards to tell you it's not getting stopped anytime soon because they're making too much money on it. So that would kind of be a waste of time to read on it, but I also think she asked, why did the Proud Boys meet with Trump before January 6th? They went to the White House, as far as I can remember, to see him. So why? I mean, we know why. This is all a plan, but let's see. Was it to plan the insurrection of January 6th? So that's the best thing to do, is just to ask and see what comes through. So, what was discussed in this meeting? What was it about? What was discussed? Was it about January 6th? Was it about an insurrection? Was it about, if that didn't work, was it really about, like some of the rumors we're hearing now, that they were supposed to stand back with their guns and be ready to come in if he signaled them? That would be something to have on the records. What I should be asking, are the Democrats going to grow a pair and even investigate this or set up something to do with it? If they can't get the fucking Senate to go along with them, they might as well just do it themselves. They're going to have to do everything they do themselves anyway. Because, anyway, I don't want to get started on that. I wasn't going to get angry, and I wasn't going to get to throwing shit. But anyway, I just wanted to have fun with you guys tonight. So let's see what and this is Hazel Love, and I think she wanted to know what they were talking about. So what went on in that meeting? What went on in that meeting on January 6th? Well, whatever we're all thinking, the answer is yes. Here's the sword. I think that's the answer is the whole thing. Bringing in their strength. And you know, like they say, the difference between politics, the Republicans go for what they feel instead of what they know is best in democracy. It's what they're feeling at the time, not what they're rationalizing in their head. But anyway, their strength, force, foundation is not being put out in the cold because they're terrified of the browning of America. What was discussed was evil and heartbreaking. God, wasn't it heartbreaking for some of those families that lost people in that? Even the lady that got trampled, that had a flag, I said, that don't tread on me. That's kind of like instant karma for her, but at the same time, think about her family. I mean, she probably had a family and people that loved her, and of course the other lady that got shot because she was so paranoid. Yeah, they made a plan. There was money being promised and the plan was being set. Look at this. Look at this. That's what was going on. That's why they meant there. That's pretty obvious. They were just making their own judgment, not listening to the law. Look at this. This is in the house for the reading. This is in the 7th house. To start a riot. And just to totally tear things up. Kind of interesting what these next two cards are going to be. And bring it out into the open, just to do it all out in the open. It was really stupid, but they did want to cause new beginnings. They wanted to overturn the government and cause brand new beginnings. And they were promised money. They were promised money. So that's what was going on in that meeting. A lot of plans made. They thought they were just going to bury our democracy or change it forever or take it out forever. Of course, they were calling it justice and everything else, but mob rule is never justice. Getting rid of democracy wouldn't be justice, and as we know it, it would have been gone had they have gotten to those lawmakers and taken them out like they planned on doing. And anybody that doesn't think they planned on doing it never heard them. The background noise of calling troops in and declaring martial law. That was the plan after everything went totally chaos, but it didn't get that far. You know, I know they gave that one policeman a medal. I think maybe they should have gave all those policemen a medal, or maybe they did. Maybe they gave that one policeman a special one. But anyway, some of the things I've heard the Republicans say about the police at the Capitol are just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. I never seen so many two-faced people in my life as they are. And I try not to judge. I just tell myself I'm going to be a better person. I tell myself these people just have watched Fox News and nothing but that for so many years that they're totally blinded. But by God, they can change the fucking channel and find out what's going on in this world. They can watch news from overseas and find out what's going on over here. If they think it's just political here, it's just ridiculous. The people from Australia knows what's going on. So I really get upset about it. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. So that's what happened at that meeting with the Proud Boys. They planned violence. They thought they were strong enough just to throw everything over. They were told to wait for Trump, and Trump never got a hold of them. It would have been so heartbreaking if it had just been all out of bloody war. But there was a plan to do this. And they all thought that they were on the side of the president, so it was justice, and they just wanted to go see how much chaos they could cause right out in front of everybody. Just like all the shit that Trump always pulled, he's always done it right out in the open, so therefore it's not supposed to be bad, no matter how horrible it was. It was a stupid ideal. There was money and plans made, lots of plans made and money. Like I said, and they wanted to do this in front of the whole world so everybody could see it. So that's what was going on at that meeting. So the next one is from a lady that's it's Pennec. Phenec. Phoenix? I'm terrible. I can still remember my mom hollering at me all the way through school because I didn't learn my phonics or didn't understand them. I was not a very bright child. I don't know if I just never had a good... Once I got glasses and got into a high enough class where you could sit up front, my grades went from about a C average to a B plus or A average. But I was always sat in the back of the class. My last name started with a B. Originally my name is Brooks. And when I don't know, it all started with my year or the year before, but instead of putting the A, B, C's and B's and everything in the front of the class, they would put them in the back of the class. So every class I went in, they'd say, well, we're going to seat you according to the alphabet, but we're going to start with the A, B, C's at the back of the room. So, and here I was, I never could see contrast, so I really had a hell of a time seeing the blackboard. And my attention span, well, probably wasn't too sharp either. And I think I've always been a little hard of hearing, so I know that's the only thing that accounts for as soon as I could get close enough to see and hear and participate that my grades changed. I think that could have had a lot to do with it. And then from then on, I just absolutely loved anything I could learn. And I also started school a year early. I don't think anybody born in October should be allowed to start kindergarten until they're over 5, till the year after that. Okay. Well, this lady named Phoenix, or for some reason I thought it was a lady, or Fenenick, she wanted to know about the people in Arizona, if they'd be able to stop this count. And she sent me that more than a year ago, and now they're just starting more than a week ago, and they're just starting more of them. So no, they're not going to be able to stop it. It's totally out of hand. It's totally batshit crazy. This is interesting to read on. I've heard a lot of different views on this. And this is Teresa W. And she says why the DOJ won't let out the memo that Barr wrote using to clear Trump of obstructing justice. Why are they blocking it? That's interesting. Let's read on it and see why they're blocking it. I know you guys have all heard the different angles. Some say they're blocking it because they've got something much bigger going on. Others kind of sick at their stomach about it because they're not quite sure. So let's see, why are they blocking that memo? And this is the memo, I guess, that Barr wrote, or somebody wrote to Barr. I think it was in the Mueller report. Wouldn't be in the report, it would have been afterwards that he wrote about that report. And I think it might show treason. That's, I don't know. Maybe not straight up treason, but I think they're coming out. They got enough stuff on Barr to bury him, so. Why? Why don't they want anything on Barr coming out? First I thought, oh, it's just one muckety nut muck, Merrick Garland. I mean, I thought he was doing a pretty good job, and I was praying that he was going to do a pretty good job, but I thought it was just one attorney general protecting the one in front of him so his ass don't get in trouble. You don't know. I don't think that's so. From everything I've heard and read about Merrick Garland, I don't think he'd do that for that purpose. But also he's damn near my age. This older generation of people in our government cannot see what's going on. They're stuck in that bubble. They know we're in trouble. I mean, they're not idiots. They have to know that they're working on destroying our democracy, but they just are terrified of changing one little freaking rule. But let's see why he didn't want that. Why that memo is not being released. We'll just ask it that way. Why isn't that memo being released? Lawfully, it could be released. He's the one that's stopping it. Why is he stopping it? After all those, maybe I need to shuffle those again. Just 5 of Pentacles. Well, maybe Glenn Kushner's right. Maybe it's going to put something that's going on out in the cold. Let's see what else comes up. Okay. We got the Knight of Cups. Somebody's making an offer. They don't tell who goes up in front of this grand jury. As far as I know, they don't even ever tell anybody where the grand jury's meeting. So the only people that can say anything are the people that get called in. And Barr's being awful quiet right now. Although I guess the Trump boys are just poor me. They're just picking on me and poor old honest Dad. But anyway, this is kind of interesting. Because I wonder, I had a dream the other day where Barr was standing in front of it didn't look like a church, but it looked like he had a stand like we used to use in choir practice, and he was standing up singing in front of these people. And so, is Barr singing? Are they offering him a way out, or a way for 6 years, 5 years, 6 years instead of 25 years? Why are they blocking this coming out about him? It hurts. This almost signifies that it will, because there's a lot of stuff not known. That's why. Because there's secrets that they want to keep, but I don't feel like they want to keep them to protect Trump or to protect Barr. I think they're keeping these to protect something else. There's 2 sides to this story. See, 2 sides to this story going on. We've got the High Priestess here. And oh my God, look at this. Look at all this. We got the Eight of Wands coming towards Barr. And he's right in the middle of all this stuff. I think they're trying to get him as a star witness. Is what I think's going on. And it wasn't the female judge or lawyers or prosecutors or whatever that blocked this. It was, in fact, it's a female that wants it to come out. That's probably why it's the head of present in the sky. She was the one that wanted it unblocked. But they're making him an offer that he hasn't totally agreed to yet. I have a feeling if he don't agree to this offer and don't tell them what they want to know, then they're just going to pull it and say, you know, just take off after him. I think this has got to do with a lot of other things. This isn't just on what he did to the Mueller report. I think there's other things involved with probably overseas. This is Barr. One way or the other, he's going to get his comeuppance. Look at this. This is the 7th house. This is his house in this reading. So he's coming up in a bad spot, whether he talks or not. His life as he knows it's over. Look at this. Look at these cards. If it don't kill him, he'll be in jail for the rest of his life. He doesn't even have any hopes. So he may be already singing to the choir. And look at this. This is Biden. He's the victor in this. So it's hard not to, but don't get upset because they're not letting these memos out and this unredacted stuff out, because they're making Barr an offer, because they got so much stuff on him, so much. Look at all these indictments and stuff. So they're trying to calm this lady judge down without telling. Maybe they knocked on her. Maybe they did something to let her know, just back off for a little bit because we really got this covered. Maybe they made her some kind of a deal to back off for right now. This is Barr. This is Barr. This is Barr. And this is Biden being triumphant. So I'm glad. This is the first I've read on this, and I'm glad I did. I feel better about it. I don't know why I didn't read on it a week ago when I got so upset. Let me get the car off the car. Let me get the card off the floor. So that's what's going on there. That's why they're not letting out what's on that memo. What he said or didn't say. It may come out when all this other stuff comes out. It may just be added to it, but it's not coming out right now because they're working on so much other stuff. I feel like they didn't want this to get in the way. God, I hope so, because that's not. There was something else that was shut down about him too. I can't remember what it was right now, but it looks like they're protecting him. But I think they're protecting him because he might be a witness, and I can't imagine him being a witness. I mean, they must have him nailed to the wall. They would literally have him nailed to the wall for him to be a witness. When he was telling all these fairy tales, I thought, doesn't he know that he's going to have to own up to this when Trump loses? Maybe he didn't think Trump was losing, but I think the 3 or 4 last few months before the election, he knew Trump was losing. That's why he wanted out of there so quick. The asking him to do this and this and this was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and he was already in it so far he couldn't get out, and I think maybe he just wanted a break before all this came down. So the next question. I hope you guys are doing good. I love your comments. They keep me going. So, Monic O or A? Is it Monaco W? Ward. Whatever it is, it's Ward. It says, will they get DeJoy out? I think I read on that about a month ago, but let's read on it again. Love to see his ass come out of there, too. I'd also love to see Biden meet with all the Joint Chiefs of Staff of all the armed forces and get everything straightened out what to happen if something really big comes down. I don't like the idea that they're talking about July 6th or whatever. Well, that's almost the day I'm getting my surgery. But not because of that. I just found out today about the surgery. But, is it 15th that Trump's supposed to be back in office or something? So are they going to start blowing up state houses? Are they going to... I don't know. I think I'd still feel better if Biden would if he just put on a new thinking cap, think from a new direction, take a good look around and see what's really going on in this United States. And I think he's commander-in-chief of the military. He needs to meet with the leader of all of the forces and sit down and talk all this over with them and ask what they've heard, what's going on, and if they've got a plan or something, if they did have to call somebody in, and how they'd handle it. Because I still think there's more to this than we're even seeing. They've even got Putin up in the stands hooraying, saying that Biden should go to jail for arresting these people from this insurrection at the Capitol. How dare him arrest these peaceful protesters. And I know that's just a way of getting back, because they're always trying to tell him what to do in his country. But Russia's behind this whole deal. It's so obvious that it's ridiculous. And when I first started hearing about Russia 7 years ago or so, I thought, oh, that's bullshit. They're not, they're over it. But no. Boy, I wasn't following things very close, or I would have known that then. Anyway, and then you feel stupid just blaming them for everything, but their fingerprints are all over this whole deal of tearing our democracy apart. And I can't believe how everybody used to band together to fight the foreign enemy, but anymore, there's people running around with t-shirts saying, I'd rather be Russian than be a Democrat. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And this is a question asked by Tina Marie. Will other countries come forward with information regarding the intelligence getting during the Trump administration? That would be interesting. They probably already came forward, but let's see if they have. Has other countries come forward with information of things that Trump was doing that was illegal when he was president? I'm sure they have. I'm sure they all wanted to talk about what their intelligence had come up with and everything. That may be why Barr's singing to the choir. Still think Barr's singing. That's what I'm going to say. Didn't think about it that much when I had that stupid vision, but with everything coming up, yeah, I think he's going to be one of the star witnesses. And it's only to save his ass. I mean, it may not, and I don't think it's going to save his ass all the way, but it might cut him down to 5 or 6 years instead of 25 years, which he'd never lived through anyway. But let's see. And the one that asked this question is Tina Marie. Will other countries come forward with information regarding their intelligence gathering during the Trump administration? That was a good question. Really good question, Tina. I mean, we figured that they came forward with anything they gathered, but is it, so this is, let's do this for not only them coming forward, is how much is it really going to help us? Is it going to help them? I'm going to look on the bottom. Oh, yeah, they had a bunch of stuff put back. Look at this. They were saving stuff the whole time that Trump was in office. They knew better than to give it to them as soon as they seen what was going on. Yeah, they took a real deep look. Definitely sharing it with us. Look at these cards. They even had information on him back before he got elected, during the first election, and some of the stuff that went on there. Some of the stuff probably from Russia. Look at this. That's the influence on this. They had a bunch of stuff, not just a little bit of stuff. They had a lot of, phone conversations, records. They got a lot of information from foreign agencies. Some of it was so bad we didn't even want to hear it. A lot of it was about Russia and North Korea and maybe China. This is the three of wands. They're trying to sort through it to see if any of that needs to be brought forward in some of these trials and stuff that's going on, if they're going to need it or not. But they got the information. Look at this. They have enough to hang Trump just from the foreign information that they picked up. Probably his conversations with Putin and probably private stuff. You know how we all know how smart they were. They weren't good cheaters. Yeah, I think they have enough, other foreign countries have enough information that the bully will not be brought back in if it's investigated at all. This is Trump, I think. I don't know if he's that smart, but I feel like he's laying awake nights worrying about what different holes that he left open that will get him in trouble. That's why he just wants to take back over by force. I don't know what's going on that he would have himself convinced that this would be over in July. And because he's grifting on the people that donate to him and stuff, why would he put July up unless there is some kind of significance to July? So that's interesting. But yeah, they definitely, they'd had a deep dive. They got all kinds of records about stuff that happened even before he grifted his way into the first deal. They got enough to bury him. They're still offering more, and it's coming from even countries we didn't even realize that had surveillance. A lot of things in there about him, private conversations with China, Russia, and North Korea. Enough to hang him and get rid of the bully for good. Almost put him in a coma, and he's not going to be able to take over our government like he's planning on doing. And anybody that doesn't think they're planning on disrupting and tearing up these old white men that are in charge of this would slit their own throats before they would accept the browning of America, especially when it gets into government. And that's what's going on. And I probably shouldn't do this, but we got one more question here really quick. This is by Bright Future. And he wants to know if Gates is going to bring Roger Stone and DeSantis and others down with him. So this is, will Gates bring down Roger Stone, DeSantis, and others? I think DeSantis, yeah, he's the governor, Stone. And who was the other one that was in the pictures with him? Oh, I can't remember all of them. I hope somebody brings Flynn down with him when they come, but this won't be with Gates' stuff. It won't be with Gates' stuff. I'll read on Flynn next time. I don't have time to right now. I should have done 2 of these, turned this off and turned it back on again, because I got a feeling this is going to be really long when I look at it. So, is Gates bringing down... I'm going to do this fast. Is Gates bringing more people down with him? Somebody's making Gates an offer? Yeah, it looks like he's... If they offer him, he will. He knows he's dead in the water, even though he's not acting like it. Still thinks Trump's going to save his ass, so what in the hell is going on? This might be that stupid ass woman on his side. I'm not even going to say her name. The less it gets said, the better. In the sky, money. They're bringing in all kinds of money. Him and this Margie Taylor Greene. He's not sleeping at night. He knows his goose is cooked, no matter what he's saying in public. His whole world's changing. This is the 7th house. It's being flipped upside down, and it's going directly the opposite direction. And so far, life's been pretty freaking good to him. So his life is over as he knows it. It may not be, it's not like the death or the stabbing in the back card, but he's definitely going away. He's leaving Congress. Hope he gets locked up. Let's see. We're going to hear about this really quick. Whatever's going on with Gates. This is Wednesday already. We might hear about it before the end this weekend. And if we do, there's going to be a lot of happy women. This is like saying, yes, we will, and there's going to be a lot of happy women. And I think they've got some witnesses that are even maybe younger than 17. I think they've got about 3 more witnesses in there than anybody even knows about. So this is on Gates. Well, I was asking if he's going to bring anybody else into it. Let's see. Let's look at it with that in mind. Well, they're offering him to. He's thinking about it. He's even talked to somebody about it. Could be Roger Stone. We got a wealthier, older guy who's not sleeping good at night. Either way, this is Gates because it's the 7th house. His world is changing, and he's walking away. And there's news coming out about this in a hurry. I don't think he could possibly have anything on Trump, but that we were asking who he's going to take down. He might take down another important person. This could be DeSantis. whatever happens, it's going to make a lot of women happy. It's going to make a lot of women happy. So anyway, I better cut this off because I've probably gone 40 minutes already. I don't know where the time goes once I start reading these cards. I put it off and put it off because I'm almost like afraid to do it, and then once I start doing it, I love it so much I don't want to stop. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, and remember, for a personal reading, it's lintarotreadings@gmail.com. Put your phone number in, and I love you all, and night now. Namaste.